Hi, Alex, and I guess also Haley, because she'll probably see this video too. So right now, I just wanted to give you guys a progress update on where I've been doing with the VR simulation. Mainly just because I haven't really been able to show you anything. I've told you I've done this and I've tried this, but I haven't been able to show it just because I'm not able to send stuff through the NCMI network or really just the government computers in general. So I was just going to record this as a YouTube video and then give you guys the link and you can kind of see where I've been at so far. So the main two, I guess, anchors of progress that I've been able to make is mainly just fixing the gaze interaction or recreating the VR controls for the user. And so I was able to get gaze interaction where it interacts with, in this case, I've just been using blocks as an example, where the blocks move when you look over it. And then also, if you look at it long enough, it starts the little circle to show that you're starting to select it. And then also, like when you select it, something happens. And then the other thing is that I was able to play videos through the video player in Unity. But the only caveat with it is mainly the streaming is extremely slow. And so I'm probably actually going to call you later today to see if you had any like tips about that because I am not very familiar with like streaming on any applications because I just haven't done it. But that is something we would have to figure out. So without further ado, let me actually get into showing you what I've done so far. So, as I said before, you have gaze interaction. So if I look at this, it starts to do an animation and move. If I look at this block, you can see I'm actually starting to select it, and you see the circle. And after I select it, it starts to move. And actually, you can see here, this is the video. But as I was telling you earlier, the streaming is actually extremely slow. And this was like a YouTube video. I think it's like a helicopter tour or something like that. I just picked a random one. And mainly, at first, how I have it is if I go in this video player and you look to the right, I have this URL that takes you to YouTube, and you can see that the URL is actually kind of modified, where it says Knockout Wolf Lab Tour. And if I take a detour fast, what I had to do to actually stream this video is I had to create a server using the YouTube.dll API, and I basically hosted that for free on a site called Heroku, and I just called it Knockout Wolf Lab Tour. And now, whenever I replace the HTTPS, YouTube.com and replace that with the LabTour server extension, I can then actually call the video in Unity. And then if I go back into my game, you'll also see that if I select this one, it'll actually call another video because I have a script to where if I select this block, then it's going to call another video, and it should do that in a couple of seconds. It's just really slow. Like as I said before, it is really slow. Yep, there we go. So yeah, and this is I think 360 tour. I think of London. I think this is. I Yeah, London. But as you can see, it's very slow when actually loading it. And as you can see also that I was able to get a 360 view. But yeah, it's kind of skipping all over the place. But those are the main bits of progress that I have been able to get through. And so the next steps is obviously the first one is I need to get the streaming much better. So I would have to work on that, streaming that, making sure it's smooth. The other step would be mainly like once I get this smooth, trying to actually export and host it just as a test using either, well, I'm going to try both the GitHub or the it.io, which is like that free website that you can just drag the code base into there and it just hosts it. Other than that, I think, and then the last thing would also be to exporting it to WebGL. You have to make sure like that the lenses overlap, so you can actually see the VR view when it's in the WebGL application when it's hosted on that site. And then another thing, which I'm probably going to do after I get this stuff solidified, is mainly just how figure out a way to use the button that's on that cardboard headset. I haven't looked too much into it. I think you mentioned before it was like maybe magnet triggered and like it changes magnetic fields and the phone can maybe sense that. So I'd have to look into that. And that's pretty much where I'm at and where I've gotten so far. Yeah.